What was the weirdest way you got a raise? Before I left the corporate world, I worked at a firm, and there had recently been a person, I guess you can say a coworker, who had been stealing food from the company fridge. This had been a problem for a few months, nearly half a year, and it reoccurred every day. The culprit had eaten anything, from bird seeds on the counter to even Thanksgiving leftovers. At one point, our boss threatened all of us of our jobs if the culprit didn't come out. The issue was, we didn't know who he or she was. One day, I had decided to pack a P&B sandwich since I had recently saw a TikTok trend and wanted to test it out for lunch. Lo and behold, my food was missing from the fridge when I checked during lunchtime. For a second, I was mad, but I quickly forgot, as this happened so frequently. I proceeded to order Uber Eats from a nearby pizza place. When I went back to my desk, I saw my coworker across from me coughing vigorously. He would have his regular coughs and pollen allergies, but this had seemed serious. Everyone had gathered around him, having the intent to help, but nobody actually knew what to do. So I ran behind him and tried Heimliching him, but it was no use. Once he had lost consciousness and fell onto the floor, I asked another coworker, quickly called 911. At this point, I didn't really know what else to do, so I started chest compressions. Recently watching the TV show 911 Lone Star, not sponsored, lol, I learned a couple of things about CPR. As the ambulance was on its way, I was able to bring him back to life. When he was conscious again, he started spitting up an orange-brown chunky mixture. I asked him, "Is that peanut butter?" He confirmed it was, and that he had it for lunch. I looked at his desk and saw the same wrapping that I used to wrap my missing sandwich. He had eventually given up his lies and told us he had been eating all of our food. He had tried convincing us that it was easier, faster, and cheaper to eat other people's food than making his own. I don't understand people that don't comprehend basic etiquette and decency. In what world do people think it's all right to eat other people's food without asking? Especially if everybody's jobs were on the line. That day we finally figured out who the culprit was, through the means of me saving another now ex-coworker's life from my peanut butter. Now, you might be thinking, how does this story relate to me getting a raise? Well, the following day, I had came into work having received an email from my boss to meet up with him ASAP. I was worried I would receive some negative precautions from the previous day, possibly company defamation. In reality, my boss offered me a large raise of $50,000 for avoiding a possible lawsuit, but also finally solving the long-dreaded mystery.